Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is number 3 in our series of the Cricut training. Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Design Space, and we're going to cover some things in Design Space. I cannot talk today. I'm sorry about that. But I had a couple of questions. I'm going to answer those as I go through here. And then there are more questions, and I am getting to your questions just as fast as I can, but I'm trying to take them in order so that we won't skip too far ahead and get too far ahead of those who are just now opening up those Cricuts and getting started. So make sure you've got your Cricut open, you've got your Cricut on, you've got your Design Space downloaded. Now the Design Space, you can download it right now on your computer, but in just a week or so, the Design Space is going to go to offline. So that way you will be able to use Design Space without going online. I know a lot of people had concerns about that because they said they only had a limited Wi-Fi and they didn't want to use it all up by being on the internet all the time using Design Space. Now you won't have to. As soon as you download this for your desktop, you can use Design Space without having to go online. So that is a plus. I've had people who ask me what is going to change when it goes to your desktop. I don't think there's a lot of things that are going to change. I think it's going to basically be the same. I haven't read everything on it yet, but we're going to go into that. I've got it downloaded on my desktop already. So I've been playing around with it, and as soon as we get to that point where everybody has, I think it's the 29th is what it's saying on the screen right now. Download Design Space for desktop by 129. So as soon as we get to that point and everybody gets it downloaded on your desktop, then we will go into it on the desktop and just look around and see if anything's changed. But I think everything's going to be the same. You know, hopefully it's going to be a plus. It's going to be a big plus for a lot of people. All right, so let's get into Design Space. Today is just going to be a Design Space. We're going to go over the different icons in Design Space. We're going to do a little slicing. So if you've been wondering about slicing, watch this today because you're going to find out a little bit more about slicing. And let's get started. Hey guys, I'm going to talk really loud, so hopefully it won't be too loud for you. But since I'm working on my computer, I don't have my regular microphone in front of me, so I'm wanting to go ahead and do a little bit of training on the Cricut Design Space today. Now, we went over the last 2 weeks, we went over different things to get ready for Design Space, and hopefully you've already downloaded Design Space onto your computer. So you need to just go into Design Space, and it's called Cricut Design Space, and then download, and you can download it directly to your computer. All right, so this is what it's going to look like when you get it downloaded. Now, you can click right here in this little corner where my arrow is, and you can take those little bars away and just have, these are 1 inch by 1 inch spaces right here where these little lines are. So you can click the bars back on. Okay, you can click them on, and then each one of these is a 1/4 inch. So you got 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and then 1 full inch. So then if you click it there, you can click where you don't have any lines whatsoever. I like all the lines because when I'm making a project, I like to see about how big everything is going to be. So I leave it there. Now also down here on the bottom left, you have your plus and minus. So right now it's at 100%. If you wanted to shrink this down so that you can see a full project, you can shrink it on down to where you can see everything. But keep in mind, each one of these little blocks is 1 inch, no matter if you do shrink it down. Okay, then we'll go up. Let's just start on the left hand side first. If you want to do a new project, you click on that and it will bring you up a new canvas. And that's what I did here. It'll bring this up. These are templates. Now, templates do not cut. Let's just grab one and I'll show you. Let's just grab the apron. Templates are for reference only and will not be saved with your project. Just keep that in mind. So it loaded the apron on here, as you can see, and it kind of shrunk everything down so that we could see it. So let's just go up here to the top. Now, it says adult full, that's what it's on right now, and then the size is standard. You can click on that and you can go to custom or standard. Let's just do a child's. Let's do a kid's half apron. Okay, so there is our little kid's half apron. And I know it's harder for you to see. Let's just click away those. There you go. You can see it better now. So see, that's a little kid's apron. Here's the strings, and then there's the little apron part. So you can have it changed to adult full, adult half, kid full, or kid half. And that's going to be the size of your apron. Now, that looks kind of small right now, but believe me, it is not small. That is on 25%. So that's going to be big enough for a child, for the apron to go all the way around them. This is just a template. It does not cut. The only thing it is here for is when you want to put, let's say you wanted to put an initial on here or image on here, that is there to kind of show you what size you need to put on there. Let's just put an E up there. So see, there's my E. So it's kind of little right there, isn't it? So we can make our E bigger. You can do it this way, just by stretching it, and that's kind of how I do most of the time. I just stretch it. And then all of these up here, as long as you've got that highlighted like that, all of these you can change. You can change the color of it. Let's just do blue. So now it's blue. If you highlight it again, you can do fill or no fill, which that doesn't really have any fill in it. You can edit it right here. You can cut it or make a copy. You can flip it if you want to. You can flip it over if you wanted to flip an image over. Here's your size, your width, and your height. And then here again, you can rotate. This is where you can choose your different fonts. If you want a different font, you can choose it here. So if we choose that one, it's going to put a little circle around my E, like that. And let's see, you can do, your style is, set it regular on there. The font size is 244. Then your letter spacing, this is how, like if you had the whole name written out here, that's how wide apart your letter spacing would be. And then your line spacing, alignment, if you wanted to align your E with your image here, and then click center. And it looks like I might have already had it in the center. Okay. This is where you can curve your letters. If you put a bunch of different letters on here, you can curve them. And then, of course, you got the advanced and more, and we'll go into that a little bit later on different things. So, only thing I wanted to show you right now is your templates are just that. They're templates. They do not cut. Once you start getting ready to print or cut something off of here, then this template is going to go away. It's not even going to print out. You're not going to see it anymore. So let's just do a new project. And when you do a new project, it always asks you, do you want to save this one or replace it? If you've made something you want to save, make sure you save it. I'm just going to replace it. And I'm going to put my grids back. Okay, projects are all of the projects that Design Space puts up first. So these are kind of the projects that they have put up right now this week. These change all the time. It's just things for you to look at that you can see if you want to do some of these or not. So it's just a lot of different things. And then you can also go up here to My Projects and you can click on that. And this is going to bring you up everything that you have saved in here, that you have created and saved. These are all of my projects, or most of them, that I have created and saved in here. So then you can go back, you can do your favorites, you can go my ready to make projects, like all of these. Just tons and tons of things on here. You can just search your project if you want to just search something. If you want to make sure you get all the ones that are free, you can just click on free, and it's going to highlight all the free ones for you. So all of those are free. As long as it has that little A right there, that little green A, it is with your Access program. So that means you don't have to pay any extra for it. And then your images, if you click on images, it's going to bring you up all of these images. Now, you can have them by category, or you can have them by your cartridges. If you loaded your cartridges in, if you had cartridges and you loaded those in, then it's going to pull up your cartridges and whatever is on all those cartridges. Okay, so this is bringing you up the cartridges that you have loaded in. If you loaded any in, you may have not had any cartridges. I had quite a few, and I loaded those in when I first got my Cricut Explorer. So those are listed down through there. And then you can also search by image sets. You can filter if you want to filter just by My Images, free, or Cricut Access, purchased. You can do that as well. So you can do all different kinds of things here. Let's just go back to some of these images that they put on here. And I had a couple of questions about why do some images print and why do some images cut? Because there are, just as it says, there are print and cut images in here, and there are cut images in here. Some of them down here will say print and cut, and then some of them will just say cut. So it's just going to depend on what you want. Some of them are flattened, so that means they only print and then you can cut it out. That way you don't have to add all the different colors to it. Let's just see if we can find one. Because if you've got something that's got a lot of colors in it, here we go. See the little print and cut image right there? There's the little printer. So this is going to print. You're going to have a printer. This is going to print on your printer, and it's going to make some little bars around it so that when you put it in your Cricut, the Cricut is going to read those little bars, and it's going to cut right around that image. So does that make sense? I hope it does. This one is a print then cut. It is going to print that looks just exactly like that, unless you change the colors, of course. It's going to print that, and then you can put it over in your Cricut. It'll give you the prompt that says now load in your Cricut. You put it on your mat, put it in your Cricut, and then it's going to cut around the outside of this. So that is a print and then cut file. They have both print then cut files, and then they have just cut files in here. Like this one, this sweater, it's going to print and then it's going to cut. And we will do these later on when we start cutting things. Right now I'm not set up to where I can print and then cut because I haven't got my tripod set up. But when I set my tripod up, it'll probably be a couple more weeks. I want to familiarize everybody with this first. And then when we get our tripod set up, we will go into some print and then cuts. But that's why some of them are print and then cut. You can't just cut this. You have to print it first. So I hope that answered your question for the one who asked about that. I think, and like I said, as long as it's got this little A over here and you have got Cricut Access, then you're not going to pay anything for that. But now when you get into some of them that have a dollar amount on there, let's see if we see one. Let's see if we can find one right quick. Now, these are the most popular things this week that different people have done. They've got them sorted out by categories: graduation, food and drink, Halloween, Hanukkah, household items, just tons of things like that. Let's just look at household items and see what we get. It's just lots of different things in here. Here's one right here. See, it says it's going to cost me 99 cents if I want that file right there. And I would not pay that 99 cents for that file because I can look at that and tell that I can make that without paying for that file. So I wouldn't pay for it. Every now and then I will pay for a file that I know that I just can't make anything close to. A lot of times it's only the words and things like that that I might pay for. Just 99 cents or something. I'm not going to pay much for them. But that is that. And when we start making some cards and getting on into this, then you will see this is all going to come together and it will all make a lot more sense to you than it does right now, believe me. All right, if you go up to the top and just click back on Canvas, you will go right back to your canvas. And let's just text. You know what text is. If you do text and then you type in whatever you want to type in down here, just hit enter and it comes up on your mat. Well, there it is. Comes up on your mat. Come on, come on. There we go. And then you can go here, of course, and change your color. You can go make sure it's highlighted. All these open up. And then you can change your font to whatever font is on here. Now, if you see a font that doesn't have this A on it, make sure you check because it may cost something. A lot of times you can scroll like that right there. That one costs $4.99 to use that one. So, but just scroll through. There's tons of fonts on here. Plus, you can also load more fonts onto your Cricut if you want to, and I will show you how to do that in one of these tutorials as well. So let's just click off of that. Now we can go to shapes. Now the shapes are, you have a square, circle, triangle, diamond, pentagon, hexagon, star, octagon, heart, and then your score line. And I have no idea why mine are so low right now. Oh, I've got this. It's because I've got this around it where I'm recording. Okay, so let's just put a heart out here. Not a heart. And let's do a circle in there. And then we'll take the circle and shrink it down just a little. Shrink it down a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to hold my shift key down and I'm going to highlight both of them. So I've got them both selected. And then I'm going to go down here to the lower right and that says slice. So I'm going to slice that. But before we slice, let's make sure this is centered. I don't know if it's going to center. So we're going to hold that shift key down and highlight both of them. And then we're going to go to a line at the top. And then we're going to center. Let's see what happens. See, it tries to put it. I don't know why a circle will not center in a star, but for some reason it won't. Let's just try. No, it's not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to center it myself, which is what I normally do on these anyway. Okay, that looks pretty good. This is just for reference anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I've got them both selected, and then I'm going to go down here to the lower right where it says slice. I'm going to click slice, and it looks like it didn't do anything, but it did. It sliced the center out of that star. So that's how you can do that. Let's just try another. I love the slice option. Okay, we've got a square. I'm going to go to the left corner down here. I'm going to click on that little lock. Sorry about that. I lost concentration there for a minute. I'm going to click on that little lock and open it up. And then I'm going to go to text. And I'm going to type in our name. And then we want to shrink this down. So I'm just going to go up here and start doing the arrow down on the size, and it'll shrink it down for me so I can get it all back in frame. And then I can just take my little arrows here and shrink it like I want it. So we're going to make sure that's kind of big. I'm going to go ahead and make this back a color that I can see. Okay, we're going to drag it out some more, and then I'm going to unlock that little lock there. See, I almost forgot it again. And I'm going to drag that down. I don't know why lock is not in my words today. Okay, then I've got that highlighted, and then I'm gonna hold the shift key down and I'm gonna click on the red space, and then I'm gonna go to align, and I'm gonna align center. So it aligned it for me. And then I'm gonna go down to the right and I'm gonna do slice. Now I could have changed the font and all that kind of stuff in this before I did that, but that is okay with me. And look at that. It sliced all that out. Isn't that neat? I love the slice mechanism. I love, love, love that. And we will be doing this on some cards. I will be showing you how to do some different slices and different techniques on some cards when we make those. Now the upload, we're going to wait another week to do upload. I know a lot of you have asked about uploading files, and we will get to that, believe me, but I want to wait another week and we'll do upload and we'll do color sync and all of this other, the weld and all of that. Right now I just am trying to get you the basics of different things, so let's look at something that may have some different layers on it. Let's just look at this little girl in the bed here. She looks awful comfy. Okay, I clicked on it and it put it down here, as you can see. And then all I have to do is put insert image. And there it is. Now, if you look over here to the right, you'll see this is a cut image, but it shows you the different layers that Cindy has. The name of this is Cindy. It shows you all the different layers. There is the little bedspread. There's the little, looks like that's her face. And then there's the bed. And then there's the full outline. So if I click this off, if I go over to that little eye and I click that off, it takes the bedspread away. Click that off, takes her face away. This one takes the bedspread away, and then all you have left is just the outer image or the silhouette of that. So you can go back. If there's something on your image that comes up that you don't want to cut, you can click them off over here and they will not cut. Now you can go up here to the top. If you wanted to ungroup this for some reason or the other, you can go up to the top and you can click ungroup, and then you can move these things. Anything that is listed separately over here, you can move them. So see, we're moving everything. So you can move it all around. This one, you wouldn't particularly want to do that, but there's some images that I like to do that on. Now, if I want to put all that back, if I go, oops, I've made a mistake and I want to put all that back, just go up here to the top left and do undo, undo, undo. And there we've got it all back. Now, don't forget to highlight all of that again and then do group. And then everything is grouped back just exactly like it was. Now, if you want to make a duplicate of this, you can do that a couple of different ways. I just usually right click on my little mouse and then I do duplicate and it makes another one. Some people go up to the top right and they click duplicate there. It doesn't matter. You can do either one. To delete, I usually just click the arrow, the little X right there. But you can also use delete up here in the top right if you want to do that. So that is just up to you which way you want to do that. Okay, let's do a color sync, and then I think that's all we'll do this week, and then next week we will start on something else. Let's just type in flowers and pull up a bunch of different flowers that have different colors on them. Okay, let's just do one flower. I don't want a bunch of flowers, just a flower. There we go. Okay, so we've got a yellow one there. Then we'll go down here and let's choose a different color. Let's see. Okay, let's just put this little sign in there. And maybe that little teapot. We're just collecting some different things. I cannot talk. All right, insert. Okay, you see how everything is a bunch of different colors. And if I was to just go and say make it, and show you what happens, it's going to pull up all of these different mats, a yellow one, a green one, a blue one, and a pink one. So it's going to cut each thing that is the color on there on a different mat. Now, this is good sometimes if you want to use a bunch of different mats and cut the different colors like that. But sometimes I want to use the same mat. If I don't have very big projects, I want to use the same mat and just put some scrap paper in some different areas on my mat. So what I do, let's shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to shrink them down just so that we can see it all. So what I do is you go over to Color Sync and you just click on that, top right. You see all of your colors right here. Now, if I just want to make all of these, it's not that I'm going to make them the same color, but I'm tricking the computer in to thinking that I'm going to make them the same color, and then I make them whatever color I want. So I'm going to click on that, hold my mouse down, my mouse key down, and I'm going to drag it up. Click on that one, hold the mouse key down, and drag it up. Click on that one, hold the mouse key down, and drag it up. You can do that, or you can just go up here and change the colors on all of them. I like to do the color sync because for me it's just a little bit easier. Then when I click make it, as you'll see, it's putting everything on the same mat. But I can go and spread these out. Let's just say over here, I'm going to make this, I could make that blue, red, pink, purple, that little jar. I can put me a piece of paper down here and make this flower whatever color I want. I can put another piece of paper over here and make that whatever color I want. And then I can put a piece up here and make that whatever color I want. Then all I have to do is put in just that one mat with all of these pieces of scrap paper on there. I do that a lot. It saves a lot of time. You can look at your size on your mat right here. I know that I need to put that within the 6.5 and 3. I know I need to put that piece of paper in there. Over here, I know I need to put that around 8.5 and 3. And then down here, I know I need to put that below, at 7 and below. And the same over here. I can see where I need to put my own scrap of paper. So that's what you do. Once you click continue, it's going to stay in that, those are going to stay in that position. And then you can cut all of those with the different color papers on there, and you don't have to change your mats over and over and over again. That's what I like to never figured out how to do that. Nobody told me. It wasn't in anything that I read, so I just had to figure it out on my own. Up here at the top where it says project copies, you can make different amounts. If you want to make 6 of them, you put 6 and apply, and it will make you 6 of them. So that's where you can change your, amounts of whatever you want. So let's cancel out of that. Okay, I think that's all we're going to go over today. That's a lot for you to sink in, and I know a lot of you guys, like I said, I have people who are watching these who give me thumbs down because they say, this is so basic. I know all of this stuff about the Cricut. I know it's basic. As I said in the very first Cricut tutorial that I did, I am starting with the bare basics. I'm starting at the very beginning, just like I had to start when I got my first one. I didn't have any help, so I started and I started playing around with it, and I learned as I went. I still don't know everything. There's people that know a lot more than me, but what I know, I want to teach you. So leave me questions below for anything that you have that you want us to cover next week. Next week we'll go over upload, we'll go over weld, attach, flatten, and contour next week, and then we'll make a card. So make sure you leave me any questions that you might have below this video, and we will go over all of that next week. So I hope this helped somebody out there. If it did, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that bell when that bell pops up so that you'll be notified when we put up a new video. And we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.